Hello everybody and welcome to my toy review. I am George, the 80s Transformer fan. Mostly because I couldn't think of another name, but it'll do. Today I have in front of me Tanaka Robot Formers Amplified Model MPF-11 Space Guard. And what this is a giant MP-11 Starscream. And if the box looks familiar, that's because they stole the image directly off of TAKARA's. Unless they managed to pose it exactly the same, it's a reprint of their image. So taking a look at the box, Starscream with the cape and crown on, Space Guard on this side, Space Guard on the back with the image of the toy with some artwork there. I don't think that's present on the original. No, they have the toy product on the original, and they have some artwork. Looks familiar. Looks like it's from the inside of the instruction booklet. Has all little panel lines, caped and crowned out. The rest is the same rip off from the original box. And normally I don't approve of KOs and a lot of third-party stuff, but when it's something I think Takara or Hasbro should have done, or any other toy company, I will go with a third party. But I'm more of an official guy, but it's starting to look like I'm heavily into this KOs and third parties. But anyway, I'm gonna get this guy open. Appears to be taped at the top and at the bottom. Snip the tape. See what's inside. So it has styrofoam on it from the original packaging. And I love to unbox on camera, share the experience with you and with any viewer out there. And that's part of my gimmick. So here he is. Here's his instruction booklet, just laying on top with the artwork from the boxes. Is a little washed out. Robot Formers, amplified model, same thing. Some color product shots. And the funny thing is, most Masterpiece nowadays have stopped using the color. Side instruction booklet, image there, writing I cannot read. Shows you how to put the cape and crown on. Some more images there. Starscream from the cartoon, transforming and landing. The G1 cartoon, that is. Nothing special, nothing special, and nothing special. Okay, I stopped to grab the real. This is the KO booklet on this side. This is the real booklet on this side. This image isn't much better. It's washed out too. But here the booklet side to side. You got Takara Tomy there. It's got Starscream, so the Space Guard. You got Destron, new leader. I've never realized it said that. Inside the book, it's pretty much the same. No extra color on either one of these guys. Pretty much the same. And from what I can tell, the KO doesn't come with the little tech spec card at all, from what I see so far. But here he is packaged. He's taped in his clamshell. You can see he's giant size. Has a giant cape and crown. The chrome looks good from here. Chrome looks great. He has the same translucent holographic pilot. Turn this guy around. There's his stand and the clip for the Megatron gun. But I don't see a Megatron gun. I don't think he comes with one. And the previous KO I reviewed, I didn't put it in there, but he came with the clip and no Megatron gun. I know they sell them. They sell just the gun itself to add to these guys on TF Direct, where I got these toys from. But anyway, cut some of this tape and get them out. Oh, there's no tape on that side. Tape right here. Tape at the top. And usually when I see tape, I feel like someone's done some QC before it leaves the factory and comes out to us, so it's not missing any pieces. If you get a KO and it's not taped, they usually would just throwing it out there. I don't know if for a fact, that's my opinion. You know, I work in manufacturing, mass producing products, and usually before it leaves the factory, it goes to some kind of QC, and you can tell by the way the product is shipped to you. So here is giant Starscream straight out of the packaging. I gotta lift his bottom wings up to give him some clearance to stand out of the packaging. This one is a little tight. There it is. Stand him up. I'm gonna move this junk out of the way and come right back. So okay, well here is oversized Starscream. This little wing has fallen out of the back. Get a tab in. Tabbed in real tight. He looks pretty good. First impressions, I see there are no Decepticon logos. Has a little clear protective piece keeping the wings from flapping around on that side. And apparently they didn't need to put one on this side. But yeah, no Decepticon logos, which kind of sucks. And like I said in my last review, how do you steal everything, images off the box and everything else, and not put Decepticon symbols on the thing? Oh yeah, and checking out some of the paint. Looks a little thin here on the red, but it's neatly done. The paint on the wings look pretty neat. Striping. Both sides. I don't see any splotches. He has a little paint detail here. And the green little, I guess, light there. The feet look pretty good. He's painted underneath the bottom. Unless they use blue plastic. It looks like paint and not blue plastic. And it's completely painted. Unlike the previous giant oversized robot hero that I reviewed, green screen. But he looks pretty good, looks pretty faithful. Check out his missile pods. Nothing special in there. Both sides. It's a tight lift. Yeah, I don't see anything special in there. Alright, well, it's Starscream. If you see my last review and if you had a secret jet, and if you're watching this, you probably have. Not expecting a great deal of articulation out of this figure. Head is on a ball joint. The head would 360, except for it doesn't fit past these little pieces here. Arm should 360. That's a pretty good sounding ratchet joint. Swivels at the upper bicep. Should 360, but all this between the wing and the no raise in the way. Double elbow bend. Come down to the wrist. See if it'll 360s. And something that's just unnerving me right now. I see they used a lot of paint. Only thing I think is actually blue plastic is the hands. You can see it. You can see the color difference from here to here. And it doesn't have like the little metallic finish or sheen to it that the original has, Toys R Us and Takara version. And he has like pointed fingertips, which is kind of cool because he's a bad guy and you usually associate little pointed tips with evil, or maybe at least I do. He has articulation at 3 points in each finger. Like, actually looks like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 points in each finger. And the thumb, it's not on a ball joint. It doesn't swivel out, but it bends right there. His waist, we all know, can't do a damn thing with it. And he's holding pretty securely. I had heard that this one was the inferior version of the oversized KOs, but so far so good. Pull his leg up. Skirt panels don't lift up. Nobody ever, they done knocked this thing off a few times. Regular scale, large scale. You think they would make this panel flip up some more so he can get his leg up a little bit more. Cause I would love like the coming in for a landing type pose. But you can't really get his legs up. He swivels at the upper thigh. Has a knee bend that I just did. Looks like he's been given room to come up a little farther, but doesn't. Then he has that swivel. The foot, if you can call it a foot, it swivels via transformation. It goes in and out via transformation. And the little vent back here, I don't know if this is a robot articulation, but you can move it around. And also, I don't have his, he wasn't packaged with the heel spurs out. Try to get those out now. Heel spur. Heel spur. He feels pretty good. I was expecting, like I said, this one to be the inferior one. I love his color. I like the cartoon accurate color. Always have. Nothing special about his no rays except for they're black at the tip, as the original is a straight gray plastic, at least from Takara. I believe so from Hasbro too. And take a look at Starscream's face. And I don't see anything out of the ordinary. The paint apps look good. He has the gunmetal gray for the face. The eyes look good. A metallic red. The little vents on the side of his head squeeze in and out. So, so far so good. Has a good weight to him. Doesn't feel loose. Like I heard bad things about this guy, but there's a little rattle in there. Not exactly sure where it's coming from, but definitely a little bit of a rattle. Yeah, Starscream has one more feature in robot mode that I'm gonna get to. This makes him unique from every other KO version of this guy. You pull these little tabs out. You can see these tabs. And I'm assuming the batteries are in here. But you pull these little tabs out. And then he has light up null rays. Is there a switch? Yeah, there's a switch. Switch right here. On and off. And there is Starscream's light up null ray that no one has done to date. And I've always wondered from the start of the Masterpiece line why everybody didn't have some type of light up feature. When they first dropped Optimus Prime MPO1, he had the light up matrix in his chest, and I thought they could have went a step further. Like every Transformer, because their robot should have had light up eyes, but he has the light up null ray on both sides. He has it. I'm not gonna take the tab out of that side. I'm just using this one to demonstrate. And to cut it off, there's no off-on switch to just on top. There's a little standard switch right here. You cut it on and cut it off with. And I think that that's pretty cool. This thing was like 59 damn bucks on TF Direct, and you get a lot for 59 bucks. Shit, the original was almost 200. I know he's cheaper now. Like the fourth reissue you can get for like 130 or something like that, 140. But this guy was like 59 bucks, free shipping. Okay, yeah, so you don't have to take my word for it. You can go on TF Direct, and if the camera's picking it up, this guy is at $59.99 shipped, free shipping to United States, and you get a giant Masterpiece Starscream with a cape and crown and light up null rays. And I'm not trying to advertise TF Direct. I got an issue with them right now, but that's something for another toy review. Well, not with them, with one of the products that they distribute. But it's not this one. So that's a coming review, coming soon. But man, you get all this for 60 bucks. And it's a quality knockoff. It feels just as good to me as the original. Well, speaking of the original, I might as well get him out here now. Here's the original, and I swear, after handling these oversized KOs, the original feels like a G1 damn near. It's not the brick, but it feels so tiny, touching the head, moving the little pieces. It feels so inadequate. These guys should have stayed at a larger scale. And if you've seen my reviews, you know I harp on that. And I'm sorry to keep going there with it, but they should have stayed at a larger scale. Other than the bottom of the null rays being painted, they probably did that to emphasize the little glow feature. And the Decepticon logos is pretty much a faithful blow up. Of course, they changed the hands, made them more articulated. What else? A little small detail they might have put in there. All this plastic here on the waist is red plastic. Over here, it's like painted and then red plastic in the main crotch piece. But I swear this thing feels like a G1, and he rattles and shakes. This is Takara. He rattles and shakes a little bit more than this guy, even though this is brand new out of the box. But here are the two side by side in robot mode. I guess I figure I might as well just get them dressed on camera. Add something to see. This just slides over his little backpack section there. And slots in right there. You take the two shoulder pads and this little tab here goes into the hole there. And it doesn't snap, but it feels like it's in there snugly. Same thing on this side. And I need a Masterpiece Astro Train, which is rumored to be coming now, to put this on this guy's head. And he looks fabulous. My fellow Decepticons. He looks fabulous. Let me see. Extend the cape. He can go big. You can feel the weight of the cape pulling him back. Let me readjust his feet. He doesn't actually stand straight up. I noticed that, like with all the other ones, he has like a little space that won't close. Like this is far. Oh, I heard it snap. Guess I had to put a little bit more pressure on it, but okay. Because at one point I couldn't get it in there any better than that, but there it is. Okay, so right here is Starscream, all Coronation out, king for a day. More like 30 seconds. Man, I hope if they ever make a Galvatron official Takara, that he comes with like a crushed crown that he stepped on. That'd be sweet. He's a little back heavy as you would expect, but he's not falling over. Tapping him. I'm not banging him hard, but he's not falling over. Come around to the back, you can see the big old gigantic ball joints to swivel in and out. Again, there's a fourth injection point on the back that I didn't see when it was folded up, but it looks good. The cape has a little pearlescent look to it. Everything holds over to this version from the original Takara version, and he looks awesome. Okay, here are these two guys. I got them both transformed into jet mode. And I'm gonna scoot this one back and pick this one up. This thing is so big, it almost makes me think of a G.I. Joe Sky Striker. It's that damn big. Of course, it can't hold a 3 3/4 scale figure, but I mean, this thing is very impressive. One messed up thing about this is the tip. Mine has a hole in it, and it looks like a little bit of rust on it. That's showing up in the camera, and it shouldn't be there. It should be like a little divot, like on this one, but it has a hole in it. It's kind of disappointing, but it's not very disappointing. And just like the Robot Heroes version, this panel piece right here like wants to pop off. I wound up having to glue it after I lost the Robot Heroes version twice. The second time I found it, I put it back on and I glued it in there, but it's not coming out, but you see it's stuck out right there. Alright, on to the positives. When I transformed this thing, nothing fell off. Still haven't seen any real defects in the paint, even though I got some scraping right here. I believe that happened when I put the cape and crown on. I believe so. Nothing on this side though. This thing is humongous. And again, I just got to say, this is the size and scale that it should have been in the first place. I mean, I could barely fit it in the screen. Let me hold it back here. This thing is huge. All right, try to get both of these guys in side by side. I'm doing like I did the last toy review. I'm gonna piggyback. And when I transform the official Starscream, the panels pop the hell off everywhere. But he can piggyback this guy. This is how large it is. And it's hard for me to really express this scale. You gotta see it for yourself. It's okay, I know what to do to give you a better sense of scale. And I try not to pull out the tape measure. I try not to go full geek. Never go full geek. And but I'm going to measure his wingspan at the longest point. And if I put the tape measure here and bring it over here, he measures a little bit over 11 inches from the longest point of his wingspan. And from the tip of the rear wing to, just spread it out some more, to the nose cone of the jet, he's roughly, I know you can't, I'm trying to get it all in, but from this tip, keep it on there and get it in frame, all the way to the nose cone, keep it on there, keep it on there. Come on, dang it. Hold on, bear with me, I don't do this all the time. I don't go full geek all the time. But from there to the tip of the nose cone, it's almost 17 inches. In comparison to the original, from the tip of the wing to the end of the nose cone, it is roughly 13 inches. And the wingspan is from here, get on there, from here to here is 8.5, a little bit over 8.5 inches. Just so you get an idea of how humongous this one really is. And it's not the largest toy I got, obviously, but it is big and it is awesome. Okay, now I want to take a closer look at this guy in his jet mode at the articulation and features. And yes, he does have articulation. One, the landing gear that's up and down. It's die cast with a silver overspray with the gray tires. Gray tires under here. You got good clearance. And it rolls pretty well. Like the Robot Hero version, at least mine doesn't roll like this. It rolls better than Hot Rodimus and some of the other Masterpiece cars. Okay, but that's him rolling back and forth. He has the radar dish, satellite dish under here. It's painted a nice silver. You can open the cockpit. Inside I have the little holographic pilot. You know, Starscream would never be piloted by a human. Try to swing it around so you can see the cockpit dashboard, as it were, or whatever it is. A little bit of detailing in there. The seat looks pretty good. It's unpainted, just a gray plastic seat. Close that up. These wing flaps can go up and down just like a real plane. These back here go up and they go down. Same thing on the left as on the right. I don't know. Mine's sliding out. I knew it looked a little weird. Finally got a piece to come off. It was sliding out. It looked weird, but it was still working. Same thing on this side. Both the flaps go up and down. These go up and down. Oh, got a panel coming off, going up and down. Snap back on there. And also, the null rays still work. Get the switch. Only took the tab out of one. Wish it flickered. It'd be a lot cooler. Cut that off. And I think that's pretty much all the features in jet mode. And just being this big is awesome as hell. I wish they had took this little black mark out of here. This black piece is a throwback to the G1 where the wings would flip and rotate back. That's what this is. And this second black mark that's on the original Masterpiece as well is where the arms would fold out. So they kind of kept that in there. I don't know why. They could have dropped it. They dropped most of the G1 stuff. And speaking of the G1, break that guy out of here just to further emphasize the scaling. Here he is. Now this is a G1 reissue. The anime version, this was like in a little book style packaging from Takara. Here he is. And here they are next to the G1. And they both dwarf him. Oh, and the landing gear's falling again. Now we got it on camera. One last thing before I get these guys back in the robot mode. His cockpit has just a little bit more of a gap. They all have a slight gap, but this one has just a little bit more of a gap. You can see it from the front as well, as it's sitting up higher than the other molds, the knockoffs, the originals, the Toys R Us. A little bit more of a gap there. Alright, now here he is on the flight stand. I got the missiles on him, and it really looks good. The missiles are a little lackluster in that they just have a silver paint, and I'm not complaining because it's a KO. I'm just stating it. And I could easily, I got all type of paints in the drawer to fix nicks on not just Transformers, but other figures, Star Wars, Marvel Legends, just to keep stuff looking new. And I have no problem with putting a little bit of striping on here, maybe something on the tip. But here, cape, crown, the shoulder pads, the pilot, stand, and then these little extra missiles for $69.99, tax included. Get them off the stand easily enough. Zoom in on the missiles. I got it all on here. You're supposed to like pick one or the other, but you can find a way to make it all work. And he really looks awesome. I'm gonna hit the brakes and he's gonna fly right by me. You're gonna do what? Top Gun, baby. All right, I got these guys back in robot mode, and I want to give a quick measure. Again, yeah, I'm going the total nerd route. I'm going to measure the Takara Tomy official MP11 Starscream, and right to the top of the red vents, he's just over 8.5 inches tall. And if I come over here to the KO Tanaka Starscream, to the top of his red vent, he's just under 11.5 inches tall. So there's the difference in height. Also, why have these guys in their robot modes? I want to bring up the Takara version. I don't play with this guy a lot. I bring it out mostly for toy reviews. I have him sitting on the shelf, and he's developed a bobblehead. And I wonder if anyone else's Masterpiece Starscream has started to do this. It wasn't like that when I first got it, but he has a pretty messed up ass bobble. No bobble here, and again, I know this is brand new. I'm gonna shake it anyway. So there is Tanaka's take on MP11 Starscream. I don't know what else to say about it. Tell me what you think in the comments. And for 69 bucks shipped with cape and crown, I think you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Everybody, thanks for sticking around. I know you thought I forgot something, but we're going to do a cape and crown comparison here as I get Starscream all ready for his ceremony.
Get on with the ceremony.
Thank you.
As your new leader, who disrupts my coronation?
Coronation, Starscream? This is bad comedy.
Megatron, is that you?
Here's a hint.
And now I'm going to bring in Robot Hero green screen Starscream and give this guy the tape measure treatment. And if you can see it, bringing a tape measure, and he's just under right here 12.5. He's just over, I'm sorry, 11.5 inches, just under 12 full inches to the top of that vent. While I got this guy out, I'm going to bring in the official MP10. Set him next to this guy to see where he scales with this guy. And he's really, really down there. Let me get this Starscream out of there. Squeeze him in. Bring him closer. And they just dwarf the official MP10. While I'm squeezing guys in, I'm going to try to squeeze in the official MP01. Get Starscream up here. See how they scale together. That's not bad at all. Alright, the jets have so much wing kibble, it's kind of hard to get them all in, but try to zoom a little bit closer. And you tell me which one you think scales better. I thought this one would be the better scale, but that one doesn't look bad at all. But I really think this one scales better. I got this to go with this. And even though this is the smaller one, if you saw my Robot Heroes review, you know why I got this one to go with this one. And there they are. Okay, so yeah, when we talking a $60 price difference from this to this, I don't see it. He comes in the Walmart exclusive color years ago when the MP mold first came and he had the skirts. The MP03 mold first came. It's like a white done in the panel lines like this one. If anybody remembers or if you still have it, he does come in that color. I don't know if they'll eventually make them in this color. If they do, then I have a dilemma on my hands if I got the extra money. But I really do. I prefer this one, and they're close enough in height where it really doesn't bother me when I scale them with some of the other guys. Oh, and wait. I done brought everybody out except for the main villain. So first I'm going to move this guy and bring in the Lord of Destruction, Megatron. Put him next to this guy. See how he scales. Then pop this guy out. Stick this guy back in. See how he scales. And now I have options, and it's not the same thing. I could take this Starscream KO oversized and put him with my MPO1 like I always wanted to do. And I can take this Starscream, because they are different, and put him with my MPP10. And now I have a happy collection with this Megatron thrown in there somewhere until we get another blown up Megatron. Now let me clear some guys out of the way. This guy, get the TAKARA Starscream out of here. This guy out of here. Get TRU-10 out of here. And bring in Wei Zhang's MPP10 to see how he scales. I bought this guy to be a companion piece with this figure to go with this jumbo scale and see how it works. And I think it works well. I'm going to bring back in the two little guys. Yeah, I call these official Masterpiece Little because that's what they are. And to see how much they rank in and how close is the scale from Starscream to Optimus and Starscream to Optimus. What do you think? Let me zoom in a little bit. Think that's about right? Or do you think, get this guy out of here, bring in Robot Hero Starscream? It's not that much of the difference between the two, but it's more obvious in robot mode, especially with the head. Oops. So what do you think? Which one scales better? I'm trying to get them both in the shot at the same time. And here he is on a display stand in robot mode. He sits it just fine. It actually pegs in there a nice, more snug fit than the Robot Heroes version and the official Takara release. But this guy can fit on the display stand, which I totally forgot. And since this is the bonus review, I can just ramble on because the regular review is over with, so you just gotta take it. When I was a kid, I thought Transformers were a pretty big size. Then I became an adult collector and hadn't had one in my hand in years. And then the Masterpiece line came along. Well, before, when I became an adult, I thought these guys were super small. And then I got kind of used to them again. They were still super small toys to me. Then the Masterpiece guys came along. And then they were back being super small. Like, these things are tiny. I was like, I must have been a small child to think these were big. But now that I have this and the other giant figures, this guy really feels really small. To me now, his head looks small. His hands look small. I know I said it before, but I'm free to ramble here. And now it just feels so inadequate. They should have just rolled with this size. It is so much better having this big figure. And I'm going to give you an example why. Okay, I want to give you an example why I think the smaller Transformers, and I've been saying it for years, all toy reviews, why this is inadequate. Move this over here. And I'm going to move this guy back just a little bit. And I'm going to bring out the gold standard of Masterpiece toys. This is MP10. This is my Masterpiece MP10 Optimus Prime. Ride or die, everyone's favorite. People say it's the best Masterpiece produced. The most perfect Prime ever. Now, in my display case, I got a lot of toys, a lot of figures, different display cases. So the one example I want to bring out is my Masterpiece Batman. This is the Michael Keaton Batman. Was it the '89 movie? And this is my Masterpiece Batman. And this is based on a humanoid 6-foot figure. This is my Masterpiece Batman. And then this little guy is my Masterpiece Optimus Prime. And this is all I'm saying here. When I think Masterpiece, whether it's Godzilla, Iron Man, whatever franchise you got, I think 12-inch scale to start with. Masterpiece Batman, and then it's Masterpiece Optimus. So when people looking at my display cases, you know, some people, strangers, might come over and say, well, do they make a, you collect Transformers, they make a Masterpiece Optimus. And I'm like, well, here he is. And it's like, what the fuck? But with the KOs, I can say, here he is. And this, let me adjust the camera. This is so much better. I got my Masterpiece Batman. And I got my Masterpiece Optimus Prime. And here's where it originally started, where I had no problem with this Masterpiece. Now I have my Masterpiece KO Starscream, which I think fits a whole lot better into the whole Masterpiece toy universe. Because again, this is everyone's Masterpiece Optimus. It's like, man, come on. Come on. I hope they keep going with these KOs. I know they're doing a oversized Ironhide coming up soon, and I'm definitely going to get that one a shot. And I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so I really hope that explains my obsession with scaling. And in general, I just like bigger figures. But I hope that helps explain my obsession and my rambling with scaling. We done come a long way, and I think we should be here and not here. But this is the official stuff, and I'll get as many as the giant figures as I can. So that's all I gotta say. Thanks for sticking around for another bonus review and my toy review. This is George, 80 Transformer fan. See you soon.